A shocking audio recording has reportedly surfaced online, allegedly capturing Houston rapper Sauce Walka, a member of the Sauce Twins, in a heated confrontation with one of his children's mothers. In the recording, Sauce Walka appears furious after learning that Drake had allegedly been involved with her. The situation escalates as he expresses feelings of betrayal and disrespect, viewing the alleged relationship as a personal violation and a direct challenge to his respect and reputation.
Come down here using our culture for lyrical content, and I ain't giving shit but a family fun day and some money to some hoes he tricking on in the club. This music with artists from everywhere but Houston. But he fell with H-Town.
The leaked phone call allegedly captures Sauce Walka in an extremely emotional and angry state after learning that Drake had reportedly been involved with one of the women in his life. During the conversation, he can be heard expressing intense frustration and making serious threats toward the Toronto superstar. The controversy has also reignited one of hip-hop's longest-running and most debated feuds, a conflict that traces its origins back to 2015. The tension between Sauce Walka and Drake began more than a decade ago when Sauce Walka publicly accused Drake of benefiting from Houston's culture without adequately supporting the artists who helped create it. According to Sauce Walka, Drake embraced Houston's distinctive sound, style, and influence as part of his own artistic identity, while failing to provide meaningful opportunities for many Houston-based musicians attempting to build careers in the industry. The dispute gained traction around Houston Appreciation Weekend, an annual event celebrating Houston's rich hip-hop culture. Although Drake had long supported and hosted activities connected to the city, some local artists felt his involvement did not translate into direct support for Houston's emerging talent. Critics argued that while Drake frequently highlighted Houston's influence on his music, he was not collaborating with or investing in local artists to the extent they believed he should. Sauce Walka became one of the most vocal critics of this perceived imbalance. He publicly claimed that Drake was drawing creative inspiration from Houston's culture and using elements of the city's identity to strengthen his brand, while giving relatively little back to the artists and communities that developed that culture. His comments centered on what he viewed as a larger issue of recognition, opportunity, and respect within the music industry. Over the years, the disagreement has resurfaced multiple times, turning what began as a cultural criticism into a personal and highly public rivalry. With the emergence of this latest leaked recording, discussions surrounding their long-standing feud have once again become a major topic throughout the hip-hop community.
Over you constantly coming in the city, I'm constantly traveling around the world. We gotta bump into each other. There's no such thing as not bumping into each other. And every altercation that me and Drake have had over the years, like y'all seen what y'all seen on camera, but it's a whole bunch of that will go on in the city of Houston that's not on camera, with different conversations and encounters where we run into each other. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I've always addressed every situation that I ever, like, whatever I do on the internet, I'm gonna do it in real life. Like, I probably do worse in real life. So I address the situation like a man on multiple times. And over the years, you know, sometimes we'll bump heads over the, or like we'll have a, you know what I'm saying, an argument about like around each other, like Instagram, whatever. Like, the one thing I say about Drake, like, he gonna respond. Like, you know what I'm saying? Feeling like Drake ain't gonna respond, or like, you know what I'm saying, or he gonna like run from, like, I've like pulled up on Drake multiple times, like on some pressure. Bro, don't run from the situation. He gonna come talk to me over here. Let's talk like man or whoop, or like try to stud up for him. But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be me. We gonna be us. You know what I'm saying? But I will say that, like, Drake, he not gonna like act like this. If it's around him, or he know that it's approaching, he not gonna like act like it don't exist, or he not like gonna like try to shun away or like do some scary.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
One
He
of those
gonna
where be like, yo, what y'all talking about?
Yeah, like, what y'all talking about?
I don't even know I was doing that.
Yeah.
The debate surrounding Sauce Walka and Drake has remained a topic of discussion in hip-hop for years. Some fans believe Sauce Walka raised valid concerns about artists benefiting from Houston's culture without doing enough to support the local talent that helped create it. Others argue that his criticism was fueled by frustration toward Drake's enormous success and influence within the music industry. The controversy touches on a broader conversation about authenticity, cultural influence, and whether artists who draw inspiration from specific communities have a responsibility to actively support those communities in return. These questions have been debated throughout hip-hop for decades and continue to divide fans and artists alike. The conflict first gained widespread attention during Houston Appreciation Weekend in 2015. At the time, Sauce Walka publicly criticized Drake, arguing that the superstar had benefited greatly from Houston's musical culture and creative influence while not doing enough to uplift Houston artists on a larger scale. According to Sauce Walka, Drake frequently incorporated Houston-inspired sounds, slang, and musical elements into his work, but offered limited collaboration opportunities to local artists beyond appearances connected to Houston Appreciation Weekend. His criticism was direct and highly public, turning what had been a cultural disagreement into a growing personal feud. As the controversy intensified, Drake responded during a Houston concert later that year. Addressing the crowd, he stated that criticism from detractors would not stop him from showing love to Houston or continuing his connection with the city. Drake maintained that his appreciation for Houston was genuine and that he intended to support the city in his own way, regardless of what critics had to say. Supporters of Sauce Walka viewed Drake's response as dismissive, arguing that it failed to address the larger concerns being raised about recognition and support for local artists. Meanwhile, Drake's supporters believed the criticism was unfair and that his long-standing relationship with Houston demonstrated a genuine respect for the city's culture. Rather than resolving the disagreement, the exchange deepened the divide between the two camps and helped establish a rivalry that would continue to resurface over the following years, becoming one of hip-hop's most persistent and controversial disputes.
It got to a point where bro just like reached out to me, or he invited me to a party he had in Houston. He had like a get together or whatever at a David Bustin'. He invited me to that.
It's a spot.
You know how we get down to Houston. Like that's another thing too. It ain't that many places in the world you can go to.
No, he like them buses everywhere. I mean, David Buster in Times Square.
I understand that. But
I think that's just like one play.
That whole setup of how that vibe is though.
You probably got that from Houston.
I'm telling you.
That's some play. David Busters.
We do that in
Grown
a lot of spots. We do that in a lot of spots. Bowling alley, race car place, Top Golf. Like Houston is a place where it's gonna be some rich player from the city gonna come to this place with 30,000, 50,000, 20,000, whatever y'all want. We shutting the club. We shutting this event space down tonight. And that's gonna be our thing. We finna come here and smoke weed. We finna have girls up here twerking. We finna turn whatever this. If this was, it could be not Chuck E. Cheese because that's for kids. But I'm just saying.
No, I get it.
As tensions continued to rise, Sauce Walka escalated the feud by releasing a diss track titled "Whack 2 Whack." The song was particularly notable because it used the instrumental from Drake's own hit diss track, "Back to Back," which had gained widespread attention during Drake's highly publicized battle with Meek Mill. By turning Drake's own beat against him, Sauce Walka made a bold statement and demonstrated a calculated approach to the rivalry. Throughout the track, Sauce Walka accused Drake of embracing Houston culture while failing to provide meaningful support to the artists who helped build it. He questioned Drake's connection to the city and argued that the rapper had benefited from Houston's influence without properly acknowledging or uplifting the local talent that contributed to its legacy. The diss track featured a series of sharp lyrical attacks aimed at Drake's authenticity. Sauce Walka referred to Drake by his given name, Aubrey, and criticized what he viewed as a carefully crafted public image that differed from Drake's real-life background. He also referenced Drake's activities and lifestyle in Houston, using those examples to reinforce his broader argument about cultural influence and authenticity. The aggressive tone and direct accusations quickly attracted attention within the hip-hop community, at a time when Drake was already involved in several high-profile rivalries, including his feud with Meek Mill. Whack 2 Whack became one of the more talked-about diss records aimed at the Toronto superstar. Many listeners viewed the track as evidence that Sauce Walka possessed both lyrical ability and a willingness to challenge some of the biggest names in the industry. In later interviews, including conversations with media personalities such as DJ Academics, Sauce Walka claimed that the conflict extended beyond music and social media. According to his account, the rivalry led to real-life confrontations and tense encounters between the two artists, further deepening a feud that had already become one of the more controversial disputes in modern hip-hop.
I think somebody said Sauce Walka be acting like he really him, but he ain't really him like that. I'm trying to understand where that makes sense. I'm trying to understand where? I'm trying to understand where and how is Sauce Walka not him like that, but he think he him like that. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to get it.
When you look across the street, right there, right, all the way across the street, don't they see Enterprise? You see that sign over there? It say Enterprise, right? If anybody on the splat ever use Enterprise, okay, well, this is my Enterprise.
According to Sauce Walker's own accounts in various interviews, the rivalry between him and Drake extended beyond social media exchanges and diss tracks. He claimed there were several occasions where the two crossed paths in Houston and engaged in heated discussions regarding their ongoing dispute. Sauce Walker maintained that he was willing to address conflicts directly and said he had confronted Drake face-to-face multiple times over the years. At one stage, Sauce Walker suggested that the feud had largely been resolved. He stated that Drake allegedly reached out to him, leading to conversations that appeared to ease tensions between them. Sauce Walker even described being invited to a Dave & Buster's event in Houston, which he viewed as a gesture of goodwill and a sign that both sides were ready to move beyond their differences. However, if recent reports and online discussions are to be believed, that period of peace did not last. A leaked phone call that has circulated widely across social media platforms has once again placed the long-running rivalry in the spotlight. The recording allegedly captures Sauce Walker reacting emotionally to personal information that he believes represents a significant betrayal and a serious act of disrespect.
They might don't say nothing about me with my baby mama or nothing, or I'ma handle y'all. It's that simple. I don't give a what the consequences is.
Why, yeah, you handle me. You already handle me, so what the matter? You already put your hands on me. You already do all that already, so what the even matter?
I got you jumped by my hoes. I will put my hands on you, though, but I didn't. You got jumped by my black hoes. It's shit on video.
Yeah, because you had me set up. Are you proud of that? Does that make you feel good?
I will get you jumped again. I don't give a just like I get Drake smoked. I will get Drake car shot at. The man, you better realize who the hell. I don't give a nobody talking about.
Okay, you need to calm down.
No, I don't need to do nothing.
Yeah, you do.
What makes this development particularly notable from a hip-hop perspective is how a dispute that originally centered on culture, authenticity, and support for Houston artists has seemingly evolved into something much more personal. A conflict that began with criticism over Houston's musical identity has now become intertwined with allegations involving personal relationships and perceived disrespect on an individual level. The leaked recording has generated extensive discussion online, with listeners debating whether the statements made during the call should be interpreted as genuine threats, emotional outbursts, or simply expressions of anger made in the heat of the moment. Regardless of interpretation, the language reportedly used in the conversation has raised concerns among observers because of its intensity and emotional nature.